After 110 attempts, Lando Norris is a Grand Prix winner, and he did it in style, crushing Red Bull and Max Verstappen. Just last month, Norris made headlines by securing his 14th podium finish without ever tasting the sweet champagne of victory. In China, he came agonizingly close, settling for second behind Verstappen. But in Miami, Norris seized the spotlight. How was Lando Norris able to win in Miami? Was Norris's victory a stroke of luck, influenced by race circumstances? Or was this a well-earned, well-executed win? Let's find out. What an electrifying day it was for Formula One enthusiasts worldwide. While Max Verstappen, the formidable three-time world champion, continues his dominant march toward a fourth consecutive title, the Miami Grand Prix hinted at an impending shake-up in the championship race. However, Verstappen remains in a comfortable position with a 35-point advantage over Sergio Perez. But maybe things are about to get more interesting from now on. McLaren came to Miami with a host of upgrades, including a revamped front wing, updated suspension, and a redesigned floor. These enhancements proved their worth as Lando Norris showcased remarkable speed, narrowly missing out on pole position in the sprint race. However, it was Sunday's main event where Norris truly stole the show, capitalizing on a well-timed safety car intervention to secure a well-deserved victory. With a flawless performance, he left Verstappen trailing behind, crossing the finish line with a commanding lead of 7.6 seconds. Notably, this marked the first time Verstappen had been outpaced on the track in over 20 races. Before the race, Norris had been on the podium 15 times without winning, which was a record. He also shared the record for the most second-place finishes without a win with Nick Heidfeld, and a start to the Miami GP didn't look like where Norris was going to end his unfortunate streak. At the start of the race, it was Oscar Piastri from McLaren who made a daring move, surging from 6th to 3rd position. Meanwhile, Sergio Perez's braking misjudgment nearly caused a collision with his teammate Verstappen at turn 1. Piastri's momentum continued as he swiftly overtook Charles Leclerc at turn 17, while Lando Norris slipped back from 5th to 6th. Despite the early shuffle, the front remained relatively stable until Perez opted for a switch to hard tyres on lap 17. However, the race took a turn when Verstappen on lap 21 made an unusual mistake, overshooting the chicane and knocking over a bollard. Verstappen's mistake caused a virtual safety car due to the dislodged bollard. Yet another incident would change the course of the race entirely. Norris, who had been running at an impressive pace after passing Perez, found himself in an advantageous position when the safety car was deployed, just after he crossed the line on lap 28. The cause? Another Miami mishap involving Kevin Magnussen, who attempted an ambitious move on Logan Sargent at turns 2/3, resulting in Sargent spinning. Seizing the opportunity, Norris made his mandatory pit stop and rejoined the race, which he was still leading, while Verstappen found himself trapped behind the safety car, only to be released later. As the safety car retreated, Norris remained ahead of Verstappen, setting the stage for a thrilling showdown in the race's second half. As the race resumed on lap 33, Lando Norris showcased his dominance on the hard tyres, defying expectations by holding off Max Verstappen's advances. Despite a shaky restart that gave Verstappen an opening at turn 1, Norris capitalized on the upgraded McLaren's pace, leaving Verstappen struggling with grip issues. It was a role reversal, with Norris now inflicting the same pressure on Verstappen that the Dutchman typically imposes on his rivals. By lap 34, Norris had surged ahead, creating a gap of 1.3 seconds, and by lap 44 the margin had widened to 3.5 seconds, with Norris setting blistering lap times. Thankfully, Norris maintained his composure, securing a well-deserved victory. The victory came at a crucial moment in the sport. Over the past 28 races, Red Bull has dominated the track, clinching victories in all but 2 races. Singapore 2023 and Australia 2024, both secured by Ferrari's Carlos Sainz. Max Verstappen in particular has reigned supreme, extending his lead race after race with minimal competition. However, this weekend in Miami, McLaren seized the opportunity to challenge Red Bull head-on and emerged victorious. Lando Norris's victory in Miami might have come as a surprise to many, but for those closely following his journey, it was a triumph long in the making. Throughout the previous season, Norris demonstrated remarkable consistency, rivaling that of Max Verstappen himself. Despite facing challenges early on and struggling with a car that didn't quite match his driving style, Norris persevered, extracting every ounce of performance from his McLaren. His efforts truly shone as McLaren's fortunes improved. In the latter part of the season, Norris secured an impressive 7 podium finishes in the final 13 races, with 6 of those being second-place finishes. With each race, he positioned himself as the one ready to seize any opportunity that arose, especially if misfortune befell the leader. However, luck didn't always favor him, as he found himself settling for second place, often trailing behind Verstappen. Reflecting on the Miami victory, Andrea Stella expressed surprise at McLaren's performance against Red Bull, admitting that it exceeded expectations. Stella stated, "We knew that the car was quick, although it's a bit of a surprise, but we take it positively, and we take it for the future as well." Stella's confidence in Lando Norris's abilities never wavered, despite the challenges and self-blame the Briton faced during tough times. He believed in Norris's potential and stood by him, knowing that once McLaren provided him with a winning machine, he would deliver. Stella added, "Many firsts. The most important is the first victory for Lando, because he deserved it so much. We always said that as soon as we gave him the right material, he's going to make it, and he made it. For me, my thoughts are with the men and women at McLaren." This win doesn't redefine Norris's capabilities as a driver. Rather, it simply puts an end to the persistent question of when he would secure his first win. What makes Norris's achievement unique is the journey leading up to it. Never before has a driver demonstrated such consistent excellence without clinching a victory for such a prolonged period. This win breaks the predictable narrative surrounding Norris and shifts the focus from when to how he secured his victory. Undoubtedly, Norris and those closest to him will cherish this momentous win, celebrating the culmination of his hard work and perseverance. However, in terms of assessing Norris's prowess as an F1 driver, this victory doesn't significantly alter our perception. Prior to this win, Norris had already proven himself to be capable of winning races. External factors simply hadn't aligned in his favor until now. This first Lando Norris F1 victory is very unlikely to be the last, and even Max Verstappen agrees with that. Max Verstappen stated after the race, "I'm very happy for Lando. It's been a long time coming, and it's not going to be his last one, so yeah, he definitely deserves it today." Asked if he thought the pace McLaren showed was representative of what they will be able to produce with their new upgrades, he added, "I hope not. They came with an upgrade. Yeah, for sure it looks like it works. So we have a bit of work to do from our side. Definitely it wasn't our strongest weekend in terms of race pace, but we'll analyze it all and we'll try to come back." While McLaren may not yet be consistently challenging the dominant Red Bulls, both the reigning champions and Mercedes are now more alert to the improvements in the papaya-colored car's performance. The gap between Ferrari and McLaren in the constructors' standings has narrowed to 63 points, setting the stage for a possible battle for the second position in the championship. Oscar Piastri, who was on his way to a podium finish before the safety car intervention, is also anticipated to benefit from the forthcoming upgrades to his car at Imola. This wouldn't be good news for Ferrari, who failed to step up in Miami. Ferrari found themselves settling for the third position, with Charles Leclerc securing the final spot on the podium. While Carlos Sainz, Leclerc's teammate, managed to salvage fourth place, Sainz's fourth place finish wasn't without its challenges, but he managed to hold on. Meanwhile, Perez claimed fifth place, followed closely by Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes. Yuki Tsunoda of RB also benefited from the safety car intervention, showcasing his skill with an impressive performance. Tsunoda's seventh place finish was well deserved after a stellar opening stint. Further down the grid, George Russell secured 8th place for Mercedes, followed by Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon, who earned Alpine's first point of the challenging 2024 season. Let us know about your excitement for Lando's first F1 victory in the comments, and what the future holds for the rest of the F1 calendar.